Good day, ROFFS analyst James here, and it is currently Wednesday, October 19th. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Today we'll be taking a quick look at the ocean conditions from Cape Hatteras down to the Florida Keys and in the Bahamas that you likely would have encountered if you went offshore this past weekend using ROFFS sea surface temperature and ocean color satellite composite imagery. Overall, we continue to observe the larger eddy formations developing near the Charleston Gyre, as a large filament of cooler water has moved pretty far offshore to the south-southeast of Cape Fear. This has pushed the western edges of the Gulf Stream pretty far offshore as well. However, warmer eddy filament water remains over the ledges south of Cape Fear and southeast of Georgetown along the leading edges of this larger eddy formation. All of this while another Gulf Stream eddy formation has moved into the area offshore of the Edisto Banks over the Charleston Ridge. From southeast of Cape Fear to the point off Cape Hatteras, the western side of the Gulf Stream has remained relatively stable. Keep in mind, though, we've seen several small filaments of warmer water inshore off of Onslow Bay and Raleigh Bay as well. Along the east coast of Florida, we have observed several well-defined eddy formations from Cape Canaveral and north. A relatively large filament of warmer, bluer water had been observed relatively close to the Cape Canaveral over the weekend as well, while a large clockwise rotating eddy formation has pulled a filament of blue-green water to the north-northeast. And you can see that warmer water pretty close inshore off of Cape Canaveral. We'll take a look at our ocean color imagery, and you can see some of that water as well here in a bit. For those heading out of the west coast and down to the Florida Keys, we continue to see cooler water moving offshore of the ledges, pretty far west of the Florida Keys, and also west of the Howell Hook Ridge, if you know that area, down here, moving into the Florida Straits. So let's switch over to our ocean color imagery, and you can just barely see some of that bluer loop current water to the west of this line right here. I just want to hop over real quick to the Bahamas, where we've observed a pretty large clockwise rotating eddy formation that has been pushing this darker blue, Bahamas blue water into pretty close to shore near Spanish Key and moving offshore near Walker's Key. So pretty good water in this area. Like I said before, there's that clockwise rotating eddy formation along the east side of the Gulf Stream off of Cape Canaveral. This is looking like it's pulling a filament of bluer water, some of that bluer Bahamas water, to the northwest into the areas close to like the Canaveral Canyons offshore of Cape Canaveral. Looking back north, you can again see some of that blended bluer water inshore pretty close to Cape Canaveral, moving north towards New Smyrna Beach and Daytona Beach as well as some of the blended blue water inshore continuing north to Jacksonville. Additionally, you can see those eddy formations near the Charleston Gyre off of Georgetown and moving to the northeast, as well as that filament of cooler blended blue-green water that's pushing the western edge of the Gulf Stream well offshore. And then that straight line heading northeast from Cape Fear and Cape Lookout to the point off of Cape Hatteras, pretty well-defined color break right there, with a little bit of blended blue-green water on the inside edges of the Gulf Stream. Remember, these ocean conditions are always changing, so be sure to head to ROFFS.com or call our office at 321-723-5759 to order updated analyses for each of these areas. Also, remember, now that it is fall, our office hours have changed, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Thank you.